Tens of thousands of North Koreans filled Pyongyang's May Day Stadium on Thursday night, their voices blending into a single, thunderous chorus as Kim Jong Un delivered a defiant and meticulously staged speech, framing his country's confrontation with the United States as a heroic struggle. In remarks broadcast by state media, Kim hailed North Korea's fight against what he called US-led military threats and promised to turn the isolated nation into the best socialist paradise in the world. The speech, delivered ahead of the 80th anniversary of the ruling Workers' Party of Korea, comes as Pyongyang seeks to bolster its diplomatic credentials, showcasing a growing alignment with China, Russia, and Southeast Asian nations. Analysts view the celebrations as more than domestic pageantry. They are a carefully choreographed demonstration of North Korea's rising international profile, signaling that the country is no longer isolated, but central to a network of powers challenging Western dominance. The presence of high-profile foreign dignitaries underscores this shift. Chinese Premier Li Qiang, the most senior Chinese leader to visit Pyongyang since 2019, attended the event, joining former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev and Vietnamese Communist Party General Secretary To Lam, the first Vietnamese leader to visit in 18 years. Earlier this week, Lao President Thongloun Sisoulith met Kim in Pyongyang, where both leaders committed to increasing cooperation. State media coverage highlighted these meetings as evidence of growing regional support for Pyongyang. Photographs from the event showed Kim standing between Li and To Lam, waving to the crowd as a central section of the stadium used cards to spell out "Celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Workers' Party of Korea." Fireworks lit the night sky, providing a dramatic backdrop to the tightly choreographed show. Kim held private meetings with Li and To Lam to discuss strengthening bilateral ties, while Jo Yong-won, a top deputy, met Medvedev, highlighting Moscow-Pyongyang connections. The centerpiece of Friday's celebrations is expected to be a massive military parade at Kim Il-sung Square. Satellite imagery and reports suggest the parade will showcase North Korea's newest weapon systems, including intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, capable of reaching the US mainland, and shorter-range systems aimed at South Korea. Particular attention is focused on the potential unveiling of the Hwasong-20 ICBM, recently tested with a solid fuel engine and speculated to carry multiple warheads capable of defeating US missile defense systems. Analysts warn that such a display could dramatically alter regional security calculations. Kim has long prioritized the simultaneous development of nuclear weapons and the domestic economy. During Thursday's speech, he claimed North Korea had been forced to pursue this dual-track strategy to counter growing nuclear war threats by the US imperialists. The North Korean leader also emphasized self-reliance, promising a domestic transformation. "I will surely turn this country into a more affluent and beautiful land and into the best socialist paradise in the world," Kim said, signaling continued efforts to strengthen the economy alongside the country's expanding military capabilities. The anniversary celebrations come after a month of high-profile international appearances for Kim. In September, he stood alongside Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin at an enormous military parade in Beijing, cementing what analysts describe as an emerging anti-Western alliance. The recent visits by Li Qiang, Medvedev, and To Lam reflect a similar pattern of engagement, emphasizing Pyongyang's central role in a network of powers increasingly asserting themselves against Western influence. Russia's presence is particularly notable. Alexander Kinstein, acting governor of Russia's Kursk region, attended the events. He highlighted North Korea's historical contributions during conflicts in the region, noting that thousands of North Korean soldiers died, fighting alongside Russian forces. This delegation, combined with Kim's ongoing military cooperation with Moscow, points to a deepening relationship that analysts say could extend to the display of Russian-supplied weapons during the parade. North Korea maintains one of the world's most restrictive information blockades, making it extremely difficult for outsiders to confirm the full scope of preparations. Observers typically rely on satellite imagery showing thousands of people rehearsing formations in Kim Il-sung Square, or on carefully curated state broadcasts, which often air parades hours or even a day later. Under Kim's leadership, military parades have grown larger and more technologically sophisticated, offering rare glimpses into Pyongyang's secretive missile and nuclear development programs. The looming military parade is expected to serve multiple purposes, showcasing North Korea's latest missile technology, demonstrating loyalty and unity at home, and signaling strength to the international community. Analysts say it is likely to feature advanced ICBMs, including systems that could potentially target the US alongside shorter-range nuclear-capable missiles aimed at South Korea. Such displays underline Pyongyang's growing confidence in its military capabilities and its willingness to use them as leverage in global diplomacy. Observers note that Kim's anti-Western rhetoric is balanced by signals of interest in renewed diplomacy with Washington. Last month, Kim suggested he could resume talks if the US drops its demand for complete denuclearization, echoing previous overtures made during his high-profile diplomacy with US President Donald Trump. Despite these gestures, Kim's speeches and military preparations send a clear message. North Korea will continue to advance its strategic capabilities regardless of US positions.